Hey there, Sagittarius. How are you this morning? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekend bonus reading. This one is going to be for July 4th through July 6th, so 4th of July weekend. We're going to do it a little different this week, so I'm going to do a Celtic cross just to see what's ahead for you for the weekend. There we go. That's the whole deal. We'll just see what comes up, okay? Let's see what we get. This one's for my Sagittariuses. Oh, my nose. Okay, here we go. I got Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. What you got going on, Sagittarius? Let's see. So, we're starting with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so currently it would seem that your situation is that you are desperately searching for a sense of clarity. There is something here that you are wondering about, something you are not feeling very clear on, some sort of information that you are trying to figure out. Okay, Looney, I don't know if that's going to work right now, buddy. Okay, come on, let's go that way. Right there, go that way. Okay, so this is what they're saying is the situation. And what is the obstacle? The Star. Okay, so with the Star card here, it would say that you are holding on to a sense of hope and faith in the future. You're also looking for a sense of healing here. So possibly you feel as though somebody has misled you, or you're not feeling as though you have all the information in the situation. So you're on a hunt to try to figure out what the information is, right? Okay, but you're still hopeful that this is going to come together somehow. I'm going to knock that over, I know it. Okay, let's see. What do you need to focus on? Three of Wands. So what you need to focus on is the future. You need to focus on your ships coming in, on, looking forward, not looking backwards necessarily. Okay. That's a Furby, sorry. What do we got here? So what is it you need to leave behind? The Two of Pentacles. It would seem that you have been dealing with a sense of imbalance. Whether that's on the giving or receiving end, I don't know. But there's a situation here where you have been very much so in flux as far as you are putting in more than you're getting out, or vice versa. There's just no balance in your life is what it's saying, and that's what needs to be left behind. You have to find a sense of balance to be able to grow, okay? All right, what do we have that's your strength? Your strength right here is the Devil. So your So your strength has something to do with the fact that you are oh, that thing is throwing me off. Ugh. Your strength has something to do with the fact that you have the upper hand in this situation. I feel like you have an unfair advantage or an unfair amount of control in the situation for some reason. And so what do we have in the near future? The King of Swords. So here in the near future with the King of Swords, I see you, it's like advancing from the Knight of Swords to the King of Swords, right? So you are definitely taking an analytical and logical approach here when it comes to this situation. That can be great, but not always. On the flip side, I feel as though you're not allowing emotion to flow within this situation at all. I also feel like where we said you had an unfair advantage up here, that there is probably a fair amount of manipulation going on here in this situation, with you being at the helm. So you are the one that is doing the manipulating. You just have to be mindful, because if you don't do these things for the greater good overall, right, then you start to have to worry about bad karma that piles up, right? That's not what anybody wants. Okay, what do we have here? What is the advice? The Two of Wands. The advice is for you to think very carefully and very much so from an honest place about where you want this situation to go and what you're hoping to attain here, what you're hoping to get out of this, right? And then with the King of Swords and the Knight of Swords, it would say that you should try to function from a place of integrity and be honest about what it is you want here, okay? Not just with yourself, but with whoever else is involved. All right, so what is the atmosphere? The atmosphere is one of transformation. What you are certain of is that things are changing. That much is for sure. Things within whatever this dynamic here is that we're talking about, things have definitely started to change. You can feel that the shifting or whatever, the change in things. What is your fear here? The Six of Swords. I think you're afraid that the other people involved in this are going to try to heal and go to calmer waters because they consider the situation to be too chaotic. Hmm. And what's the outcome here? The Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is attempting to spin in your favor for sure, but I don't know that it feels that way to you right now. It almost feels like you have somehow gotten yourself in a situation where you have far too much control and you are. It's just not a fair situation, okay? And at the same time, I feel like in the fact that it's not fair, it's also not challenging. So you're not growing within this situation, okay? And all of that possibly needs to be shaken up some, and so that you can continue to grow as a person and continue to be who you're meant to be, okay? This feels like it's something that's kind of keeping you stagnant because it is quite easy because you do have an unfair advantage is how I feel. This is how it looks to me. Okay? Just be mindful that you are functioning from a place of honesty and integrity, okay? Yeah? Because you really don't want to rack up bad karma. There's just no sense in it. It's not the best way to be, right? That's how I see this. Okay, what do we got for Friday? Friday, you've got the Four of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. So Friday, there is a huge focus on your stability and your security. With the Four of Pentacles, there's something here you're not sure you want to let go of. The reason for that is because you feel as though this is a higher level soulmate to you. And they are. They really are. It does not mean that all soulmates are supposed to be in your life forever, right? That's just one of those things. But at any rate, you two are soulmates of some sort. And with the Four of Pentacles, it's something you don't want to let go of. Saturday, excuse me, I have the King of Wands and the Hermit. So with the King of Wands, I feel like this is how you're presenting, really. King of Wands would be somebody who's charismatic and natural-born leader. You're somebody who does stay oftentimes somewhat in control of a situation. Sometimes you don't manage to let emotions flow as freely as they possibly should. And you're somebody who's not necessarily looking to be tied down into any one situation, for sure. You're up for adventure and you're looking for new things to get you going, right? With the Hermit, I feel like you're trying to pull your energy out of this situation because you're feeling very underwhelmed by it. That is what I would say there. I think that you're feeling underwhelmed, however, you don't want to let it go. So that's kind of a quandary right there, right? Sunday, I have the Sun card and the King of Pentacles. Sunday, you're in boss energy, which I feel like you've been in the whole time here. And you're trying to figure out what's going to make you happy. And you should figure out what's going to make you happy and then go that direction, right? I think there needs to be a little bit more challenge in your life to make you happy maybe right now. Maybe. That's just what I see. All right, at any rate, I am going to say that's that for this week, okay? I will be back on... When will I be back? I got lost in my head again. I'm going to be back on Sunday with weekly readings, and I'm here every morning with the daily energy check-ins. No matter what the cards say, just go make it the best weekend you possibly can. It is 4th of July. Be careful with the fireworks. Have fun. And that's it. Thanks for everything.